Hello, and welcome to Popcorn News. Something to watch while you eat popcorn. Thanks to a poster at the Conspiracy news group for pointing me to newly discovered information found in declassified FBI files. The Conspiracy news group is part of the Google groups. Via Seven Tales, in 5D has published a report on April 12th, 2016, entitled FBI Confirms Beings Are Visiting Us from Other Dimensions. Found at the official FBI Vault website is a document from an anonymous lieutenant colonel who described in 1947 entities that apparently can materialize on Earth. These entities are not excarnate Earth people, but come from their own world, reported the lieutenant colonel. They do not come from a planet, as we use the word, but from an etheric planet which interpenetrates with our own and is not perceptible to us. The bodies of the visitors and their, quote, flying saucer, unquote, craft automatically materialize on entering the vibratory rate of our dense matter, the declassified FBI file reveals. I have checked and can confirm that such a declassified FBI file exists. Flying discs, security matter-X, Lieutenant Colonel blanked out. Seattle and Portland, August 9th, 1947. This may be in connection with something called the Kenneth Arnold incident in that area of Seattle and Portland. And here's point 4. They are not excarnate Earth people, but come from their own world. 5. They do not come from any, quote, planet, but from an etheric planet which interpenetrates with our own and is not perceptible to us. 6. The bodies of the visitors and the craft also automatically materialize on entering the vibratory rate of our dense matter. Point 8. The region from which they come is not the astral plane, but corresponds to the locus or talus. Students of esoteric matters will understand these terms. They probably cannot be reached by radio, except possibly by non-Hertzian waves. And he concludes, we give information and warning, can do no more. A heavy responsibility rests upon those in authority who are able to understand. It is one of my theories in the Kyle Odom case, in which Mr. Odom claimed to have perceived disguised Martians and allegedly shot one of the presumed Martians in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, that an interdimensional portal had inadvertently been opened consequent to a rumored Philadelphia experiment in 1943. Sometime in the 1990s, a person named Preston Nichols was interviewed. Videos of that interview were later posted to the internet by someone calling themselves Grid Keeper. The interview is posted to YouTube in segments of about 10 minutes each, under the general title, The Philadelphia Experiment and Montauk Project. Here is an excerpt from part 1 of the segment.
The Montauk Project, which was an experiment carried on at Montauk Point, New York, on the southeastern tip of Long Island, that's off of metropolitan New York, was essentially two projects. It was a mind control project where they did research on how to influence the mind of man using electromagnetics. It also evolved into a time travel project. They found out that they could actually bend time with the same equipment that they used to bend minds. This all started back in World War II. There was two major projects going on in World War II. One was the Rainbow Project, and the other was the Phoenix Project. Essentially, the Rainbow Project, well, let's first go into the background. During World War II, we were losing the war. We were outnumbered. We had Germany against us, most of Europe at that point. We had Italy against us, we had Japan against us, and it was felt it was a losing cause. So the government was essentially looking for that secret weapon that would win the war. So in 43, that area, 43, late 42, 43, 44, they launched a lot of these very avant-garde super science type projects out of almost desperation. One of them was the Rainbow Project, which we know is a Philadelphia experiment. This was where they attempted to make a military, navy, boat, invisible. Radar, invisible, what they're interested in.
I am well aware that skeptics say the so-called UFOs are man-made, and I do not automatically dismiss that point of view. For example, William Line, in a book originally titled Space Aliens from the Pentagon, saw things from that perspective. The book was later titled Pentagon Aliens. Is it possible that this fantastic technology was invented in the 19th century by Nikola Tesla, and that the present pop physics is just a cover-up of the real ether physics upon which these ships are based? Writes Odom in part, not Odom, William Line in part. William Line calls the mundane physics pop physics, and the secret physics the ether physics. In my book, Our Friend the Ether, available from Amazon.com, I examine in depth the elements of this ether physics. So, are the space aliens really from the Pentagon? Maybe a little of both. The Pentagon connects with the rumored 1943 Philadelphia experiment, through which an interdimensional portal was inadvertently opened. Thank you for watching Popcorn News.